Good afternoon, welcome to Markree Castle. Markree Castle is located close to the village of Colooney in County Sligo, and today I look forward to taking you on a tour of our wonderful castle. Markree Castle is owned by the Corscadden Family, a family of Irish hoteliers who own 4 castles in Ireland. Markree Castle is the 4th castle that they've renovated and they've brought back to life as part of the romantic castles of Ireland. The other castles included in the group are Cabra Castle in County Cavan, Bellingham Castle in County Louth, and Ballyseedy Castle in County Kerry. You enter the castle under the dramatic porte-cochere, which leads to the main entrance stairs. The entrance hall was designed by Joseph Gwilt and inspired by the cathedral-like entrance of Fonthill Abbey in Wiltshire, which was the inspiration of many great entrance halls in Ireland and England, including Killeen Castle. All of the plasterwork in the ceiling has been lovingly restored by the skilled craftsmen who worked on the restoration. The main entrance stairs leads directly to the grand fireplace, which is one of 10 regularly used fireplaces in the castle. This fireplace is lighting as long as we have guests. It's a great welcome when you arrive. It really is the heart of the castle, and it's been the same for hundreds of years. The fireplace on the right-hand side would have been much smaller, with just the blue tile inset that you can see. During a clear out of the cellar, what was thought to be a 4-poster bed was found. It turned out to be the wooden surround of this fireplace. Around 30% was missing, and the craftsmen working on the restoration were able to rebuild and copy the missing sections. The craftsmen are so good it's impossible to tell the difference between the plastic moulding and the real wood sections. It really was a great find during the renovations. The main reception area leads into the long gallery. When the castle had long stay visitors, the visitors would have had quarters on the right hand side of the gallery, and the owners would have had quarters on the opposite side, allowing them much privacy, and meeting only in the public spaces. Likewise, when day guests arrived unannounced, they would be first viewed by the owners from above. The general style and appearance here is typical of the 1840s, and these days it's much more typical that we would serve the first welcome reception drinks to our guests. The bay window at the bottom of the long gallery was originally the entrance to the castle, and would have had a long, straight, single path leading to the main gate. This ensured that any arrival by horseback was seen well in advance. The new entrance was built with the church and the billiards room, and at this time a curved, winding drive would have been built so that guests arriving by carriage would enjoy the views of the castle. Much of the artwork hanging in the gallery and around the castle would have been purchased at auction to specifically suit each area of the castle. Apart from the 3 original Cooper paintings, these paintings are of Joshua Edward Cooper and his wife Elizabeth and Edward Henry Cooper. We really are delighted to be able to look after these pictures. The Corscadden family took ownership of Markree Castle in May 2015. The castle has been lovingly and extensively restored to the highest standards. Research into the history and past use of the building was of utmost importance. The castle has a long venerable history, having been in the Cooper family for 7 generations. The castle is a recorded monument which is listed in the records of a monument and dates to the late 16th century. Many architectural details within the castle were designed by an Irish architect by the name of Francis Johnson, who was also well known for building the GPO in O'Connell Street, Dublin. After 2 years of renovations, Markree Castle opened in March 2017 as a hotel and exclusive hire wedding venue. Before being purchased by the Corscaddens in 2015, the castle was occupied with few interruptions by the Cooper family after they acquired the estate in early 1660. It's said that Cornet Edward Cooper acquired the estate under the 1662 Act of Settlement, and the castle began life as a semi-fortified house on a bend on the River Unshin. The main part of the existing building is said to be mid-18th century Georgian and is a remodelling of an earlier 17th century structure. Several phases of additions and alterations took place in the 19th century, which have resulted in the castle being a great example of Irish 19th century architecture. Aside from Francis Johnson, Francis Goodwin, Thomas Maitland, Sir John Benson and James Munro all contributed to the development of Markree Castle over the centuries. Unfortunately, many of the records of these great architects were destroyed during Markree Castle's turbulent 20th century. The main staircase is overlooked by this great stained glass window, which shows the connection between the Cooper family and King Henry VIII. Even though the stairs and surrounding balconies are Tudor in style, the window was thought to be later 19th century in date. As part of the renovations, the entire window was removed for renovation and strengthening. The balconies were in disrepair and all had to be completely taken down and replaced using steel girders to strengthen and reinforce. The fireplace was left exactly as it was, apart from the recent addition of the modern technology on the roof, which keeps the smoke going in the right direction. Left at the top of the main entrance stairs leads to the chapel and what was originally the billiards room. These rooms were very derelict and unused prior to the renovation. The billiards room is now used as a sitting room and has a fine Gothic revival fireplace and dado panelling. The large overhead window would have been used to light the billiards table. We've now moved the billiards table to an upstairs reception room, and this room quite often becomes a little hideaway for our brides and grooms who are looking for a few moments to themselves. Our chapel can seat 100 guests comfortably for a wedding reception or music recital. The acoustics are really great with the dramatic high ceiling. Not a lot is known about the design of the woodwork panelling in the chapel. Story has it that it was built after a falling out with local clergy. On the upper balcony there is an organ which will be part of a later restoration project. The castle dining room consists of 4 interconnecting rooms which can seat close to 200 guests for dinner. All 4 rooms have direct views over the garden. The highlight of these rooms, and definitely one of the most delicate parts of the renovation, is the ceiling design. All of the plasterwork was repaired and reshaped by the skilled craftsmen who picked stones from the land around the castle, which were then crushed and made into a paste that was used to repair the damaged sections. Prior to the recent renovations, the 4th dining room was used as part of the kitchens, and this room has been meticulously copied to be a replica of the first room. The craftsmen were so skillful that you'd never notice the difference. This is the entrance to the Castle Entertainment Suite. From here you have access to the castle courtyard, down onto our dance floor, or over to the butler's kitchen. The castle was built over a raised basement. This area of the castle was unused and quite derelict before the renovations. The basement has been transformed into our late night entertainment suite, so you could say we're a castle with the basement nightclub. All of the original arches and stone flags have been preserved, and the dance floor has spectacular round windows looking out over the gardens and terrace. Our gin and cocktail bar would have been the original castle kitchens, with impressive high ceilings and a big fireplace. The butler's kitchen is down here and is open for a cuppa whenever we are welcoming guests, with the original butler's sitting room also situated here so that he could look out and see any of the guests arriving to the castle. All of the castle bedrooms have been individually decorated. All of the furniture and bathroom fittings are as authentic as possible. The Corscadden spent a lot of time sourcing and finding antique furniture to suit each individual room. Many of the rooms have 4 poster beds and roll-top baths overlooking the gardens. The rooms have all been named after iconic Irish figures. A part that is from room number 8, the Johnny Cash room, so called after the man himself, who hired the castle out for a week in 1990. There's a very authentic video of him singing on the main stairs with Sandy Kelly. Out of the 31 rooms, room number 1, the Maud Gonne suite, or the bridal suite, is the most sought after, a fabulous 3-room suite hidden away at the back of the castle.